Good morning, Colleen. How you doing
Hey,
today?
Joe. Well, let me tell you, we had a pipe issue in our bathroom.
Uh,
So the plumber came in and he said, I just have to replace this one pipe, right? So
it's never
this is
one pipe.
about to be, it's never one pipe. This is like everything you've ever seen on HGTV. So he gets in there and he's like, oh, I have to replace all the pipes.
Oh
So now
no.
Yeah, our bathroom is literally a hole in the ground. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, whoa, what is happening? So, yeah, that's my story.
Oh my God, that is so frustrating. It's like there are two things I don't touch in my house: live wires and pipes.
And pipes, right?
You
I
know?
mean, I really didn't know. Like, it's like
hmm
a 5 foot hole in the ground. Like, I just
Oh
didn't
God.
appreciate the amount of effort it takes to replace a pipe, or 5 pipes, as it were, in my case. So the
Wow.
2 day adventure is turning into a much longer adventure, and I have lost my bathroom. So,
Oh man,
anyway,
that's really rough. Do you? Is it? It's not your only bathroom,
no,
is it?
of course not. No, we
Okay.
just have to shower. No, we just have to shower upstairs. So it's like a bit of a
Okay.
thing, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's manageable, but it's not. It's still inconvenient and probably a lot of money. Pipes are not cheap, and labor is not cheap right now.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll report. Hopefully, by the time we talk next, it'll be done.
You'll have a
So
bathroom.
we'll have a bathroom back. So, how about you? How has your week been?
Yeah, it's been up and down. We woke up to a like 2 a.m. phone go like trilling at us. No idea why. Both my wife and I's phones are on silent, and my wife's mother, so my mother-in-law, accidentally triggered the emergency contact thing on her
Oh,
phone. So we get an alert at 2 a.m. our
oh
time.
no.
Uh, you know, mother-in-law's name has called emergency services and you are on the
Yep.
emergency list. So
Yep.
we're like scrambling to call her back. Her phone is off. What's going on? Um, Turned out everything was okay. She
Good.
accidentally hit the button when she was trying to turn off her alarm or something in the morning, which bless
Oh.
her.
Oh.
uh, but that's that, like, so 2 a.m. we're wide awake, and it's not because of the kids.
Yeah.
It's this whole other thing. So it's been one of those, extra caffeine kind of weeks for sure.
Yeah.
But everyone's
Wow.
okay, and we know that that
Good.
service works, which is probably the most important thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But in business news, I secured a .com via Snap Names,
Ooh, tell
which
me.
yeah. So Snap Names is a service that will find expiring domains
Okay.
and then snatch them up for you and then open it and put it into like an open bidding war.
Okay.
So I have a domain that I wanted. I have a .dev already. And I was like, I want the .com, and I checked the Whois or the dig or whatever, and it's like, this is expired and it's in the redemption period, which means that it will be on the open market soon. So I put a bid in on Snap Names, and as soon as it was available, boom, transferred to my account.
Yes.
Just like
That's
that.
amazing.
$79. And I
Yes.
honestly think that I could have got it for cheaper, but that's like the standard bid they recommend in case there is a war.
Yeah.
Because if like someone else had done the same thing, it would go to a bidding war. But I got I got rubynative.com,
Nice. That's
right?
so good.
Right? Right?
So
So
good.
rubynative.com, which I'm super excited about. I haven't officially announced this anywhere yet. And this is not the official announcement. This is kind of like the tease to, the diehards out there. But this is the product that I've been wanting to build for years, but I have not had just the time, the energy, and honestly, the expertise to do it. And now with AI and like seeing all of these apps that I've taken through the App Store, I have learned how to build this the right way. And the way that it works is you have a Ruby on Rails website, you go to rubynative.com, upload a couple files, configure an endpoint or a YAML config on your Rails server, click a button, and you get to download your app via test flight on your iPhone from the App Store. And it will simplify the entire process. Like, you don't have to open Xcode. You don't have to write any Swift or Kotlin. You don't even have to really deal with App Store Connect, which is where all like the fiddly bits are. You just click a button, it invites you, you get an email, you click the email, and you can download the app on your phone, pointing to your local server, like on your Mac or your machine, or your production server. And I have had folks that have tried it have an app in test flight in like 2 hours from start to
Wow.
finish. Yeah,
That's
which is wild.
amazing. Yes,
And
that is
it's so cool.
wild.
It's like, I have built so many iOS apps, and we've talked about this, like the code itself is becoming easier than it ever has. But
Right.
getting into the App Store and doing all of like the configuration and the certificates and the signing and stuff is still as hard as it always was. And I don't know, AI can like only help in so many ways because there's very few CLIs available for this stuff and like MCPs and everything. So this is just like automating so much of the nitty-gritty process that no one wants to deal with. And I have wrapped it in some secret sauce because I've seen this happen where it makes your web app look great on mobile. So like, all the first party fonts, the liquid glass, and push notifications, working on OAuth right now, like all of these things that I can just abstract for the user. And it's like your config file is like, tab bar, true, and you get 5 tabs.
That's
uh,
amazing.
OAuth, you give me the endpoint, boom, Google OAuth just works out of the box.
Wow.
And all of this stuff is just like going to be part of this solution. At rubynative.com, which I'm super,
Ruby
super excited
native,
about.
such a good domain. Okay. What is test flight?
Great question. So when you do betas for iPhone apps,
Okay.
this is like pre-App Store, but you want to give it to your friends, your family, your coworkers. It's Test Flight is like a app store, but you can only download the apps you've been invited to. So
Okay.
if I have this mobile app that I'm like, hey, I want to share it with you, I invite you, your email address. You get an invite, you download it and send it through the App Store through Test Flight, and
Okay.
it's all like pre-Apple approval, so you don't have to go through the approval process nonsense. It's just for like testing.
Okay. So I'm trying to like kind of wrap my head around this. So,
Yeah.
for example,
Mm-hmm.
I am working on a Rails app that basically
Mm-hmm.
takes my voice notes, pulls in all this context, and posts LinkedIn for me. But I have to be on my computer
Mm,
to use it.
yeah.
Is this the kind of thing where if I tried your service, I could now have it as my iPhone? So whenever I had a thought, I could just speak it to my iPhone?
Yeah. So the way that it would work is like if you have a mobile website for
Okay,
this
sure.
service,
Which I
you would
think
use
I kind of do because I use Tailwind.
yeah, you're 2 prompts away if not,
Yeah. Okay.
Um so you would use Ruby Native, you would add the gem to your Rails app,
Okay.
configure some things, and then you would click build on Ruby Native, and it would use your App Store Connect, your iTunes account, all that good stuff, and then it would send you an email with like, hey, download your app here.
Okay.
And then you could download that app to your phone, and it would be
To my phone.
to your phone. It would be an iPhone app that essentially wraps your existing Rails server, like your website. So it wouldn't have like offline access or native like Siri integration or anything like that. But you would have
Yeah.
an app on your home screen with your
That's
own
so.
icon, and when you opened it, it would just like do whatever your Rails server is doing.
Do I have to already have the API built?
Which API?
I don't know. Whatever. Isn't that how I? I don't know anything about iOS apps. Isn't that
Yeah,
how
yeah.
they work? Like it's front end and it's API. So if I don't have a
Gotcha.
public
So
API,
so what it does is it actually just it's a web view. So it's
oh,
actually
cool.
rendering
Okay.
your web content. So whatever
Okay.
mobile website you have showing on, your .com or whatever,
Yeah.
shows up inside the Ruby native app with native tabs at the bottom, native navigation, push notifications, all that stuff. So it's kind of like a mobile wrapper on steroids.
That is
But you don't have to
exciting.
write any of the wrapper. It's all
Right.
like
It's all
handled for
done.
you.
So
Yeah.
if I wanted this thing just for me, like I
hmm
could go do this right now.
If you wanted it just for you, you could actually do it for free. So rubynative.com/try has the
Okay.
whole setup of where you can use the public gem and then
Yeah.
use the Ruby Native preview app, point it to your server, and it
Yeah.
would just work for your
That's
device.
so cool. And
You
so when
actually,
I'm
this is, this is the really cool part. The gem has a preview command that
Yeah.
spins up a Cloudflare worker, points it to your local host, and then shows a QR code for the preview app to scan to then point to your server, which is like
That's
so cool.
crazy.
So
That's
cool.
so cool, Joe. This is amazing.
Yeah, and you can try
So,
all of that without an account. That's just like, give it a go.
so if I am crushing it on LinkedIn and I now want to
Mm-hmm.
sell my app that I'm
Yeah.
using
Mm-hmm.
as a mobile app, because that's something that's always been a big challenge for me or blocker for me, is like a lot of the things I want to do are better to be done on your iPhone, right? Like,
Totally.
especially with this content creation, because I'm deep in this content creation right now, because you have a
Mm-hmm.
thought, you somehow want to get it into the app. Um, so if I wanted to sell my app on the App Store, could I still use your
Mm-hmm.
service?
Yeah. So there's two ways to sell apps on the App Store. One is through like pay to purchase, one time just you pay to download the app. And the
Okay.
other is through in-app purchases, which are more like subscription stuff.
Okay.
So if you wanted to just say this app is $10,
Mhm.
one-time
One
fee,
time.
you could do that right away today with Ruby Native.
That's
And then
amazing.
they just sign in through your app. They have like a free account on your backend or whatever. You mark them as a Ruby Native user. If you want to do in-app purchases for more like recurring subscriptions and get money from the App Store, that's not built yet, but I am working on an in-app purchase flow for Ruby
Very cool.
Native. But honestly, for your thing, you'd probably build Stripe and a Stripe integration on
Yeah.
the web and then be
Yeah.
like, hey, this is a companion app on the iPhone and just be like, you can only log in. You can't sign up.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
So you don't lose your 15 to 30% cut that Apple
Oh, that's
takes.
right. I forgot they do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Companion
Interesting.
apps are big, and they have a lot of loopholes, hoops you have to jump through. But they're a pretty big loophole in the SaaS industry for not losing that fee. So I've
Sweet.
implemented that a
See,
few times, and that'll be like key to this.
yeah, well, that's why it's so good to work with you or to know you, I guess,
Yeah,
because I didn't know that, right? Like I would not have known that. And I mean, 30 to 50% of your revenue, that's crazy.
15 to 30, but still,
Oh, 15 to 30. Okay.
yeah,
So tell me, so have you officially launched this? I mean, I know you're talking about it, but where are we in the product life cycle
yeah.
here?
So my paid newsletter subscribers got early access to it last week or the week before, I don't remember, and they've been kicking the tires on it, which has been awesome.
Nice.
I've started to tease it on LinkedIn, which, taking your advice, I posted something on LinkedIn and it had like 100 reactions in less than 2 hours.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that was cool to
That's
see.
good.
And I'm pretty much just like responding to every comment and saying, if you want to give it a
Yes.
try, like send me a DM,
Perfect.
and signed up for the LinkedIn Plus, whatever, so I could DM people who I'm not connected with for this.
Yeah.
Uh, in terms of launch status, like I'm hoping to launch next week or the following week, like
Okay.
officially, like, newsletter, blog post, hopefully get on Hacker News. I still have some odds and ends to work out, like, because this
Okay.
thing works with any Rails front end, Inertia, Turbo, React, Vue, and I'm not an expert in some of those, so I want to make sure I have someone who's building an app with that before I officially launch.
Okay.
But if you do want to try it now, send me an email, for dear listener, and I'll set you up with a couple months for free in exchange for some, helping me squash some bugs and maybe like a testimonial, because it's almost ready for prime time, but I do want to launch something that is polished,
Yes.
and it works now. Like someone is using
Yeah.
it and has an app and is downloading it and everything, which is super cool. Like I actually already have a paying customer,
That's
which
amazing.
is wild.
Congratulations.
I know, thank
Yeah.
you. But if you want to give it a try in this like early access phase, I will credit your account a few months, and you can give it a spin before the official launch in 2 weeks.
Okay. So we're targeting 2 weeks for an official launch
Yeah, which probably
ish.
means like in 2 days for me because I'll get impatient. But no, I have two big features to implement still. I still need to add
Okay.
OAuth, and I have to figure out in-app purchases. Once those,
Okay.
it's like iOS is pretty much feature complete, which is cool.
Okay. Awesome. This is so
Yeah,
exciting.
and then Android comes probably in April. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So tell me, I
I'll
am
tell you.
pre-launch, about to launch. What am I doing marketing wise?
Okay.
How can I get this to
Let's
the right people?
yes, let's talk about distribution. Let's talk about
Yeah.
it. Um, email list. How many people are on your email list?
700, something like that.
Okay. And you've only so far, so we have your email list because you've only sent it to paid subscribers so far, right?
Yeah, which is less than 100, about 100.
So obviously, email, can you cross promote on other Ruby email lists?
Hmm, great call. Yeah, I I would first write an announcement article for it and hope
Okay.
that it got picked up by like Ruby Weekly or those kind of things. But if I didn't, yeah, doing a straight up cross promotion or sponsorship for that would be a great idea.
Yeah, I would make a list of
Mm,
Ruby and Rails email lists that are good,
yeah,
quality. And I
yeah,
would start, you could even start that now, like reaching out to
yeah,
them. I mean, like, honestly, most of those people who write
yeah.
those newsletters
True.
personally. So I think it's reasonable to say, hello, friend of mine. This is good for the community. I would love it, if I could get some kind of shout out. So I think cross promote, because the thing about what you're doing here is we're targeting Rails companies of a specific size, right? Like when you identify your ideal customer for this, how would you describe that person?
I think there's two customers. There's the solo developer who has like side projects and also wants a mobile app.
Yes.
And that is the starter plan, which
Hmm.
right now is priced at 29 a month.
Okay.
And then there is the more established, maybe CTO, decision maker, lead dev, who has an established SaaS and wants a mobile presence, and that is $100 a month for the app. And it has, less limitations and more features and stuff. So those are my two target audiences. In terms of developer size, like solo or like honestly like small teams that don't want to build native apps themselves is the ideal.
Right. Okay. So we're targeting smaller companies, smaller teams, independent developers. So I
Hmm.
still think Product Hunt, Hacker News, Reddit are all good places to talk about this. Um, Obviously, email list, cross promotion on email list. And then, of course, you've done the podcast rounds, but you can do them again.
Yeah, last time I did the podcast rounds was for my book, which
Yeah.
was August.
Yeah, I was going to say
So
that was a while ago.
it was a while ago, I know. So like
Yeah,
I,
it's
I'm
crazy.
I'm due for another round.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like I was just on or whatever. So yeah, definitely podcasts, and it seems like there's a new Ruby or Rails podcast every couple of weeks now, which is great.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of I think a lot of communities have gone a little more private too, which is an
Mm,
interesting thing because marketing to developers is such an
yeah.
interesting challenge that a lot of people are struggling with. But I do think a lot of the communities have gone a little more private. So those discords that some of which you are already in, sharing it there in a non-spammy, non-salesy way could be really useful as well.
Yeah. The Discord, I feel like Discord and Reddit are always, I post and I'm like covering my eyes for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, am I going to get banned for this? I don't know.
I
I
know,
wrote the same
right?
thing, for a different product 3 years ago and I didn't get banned. Does
And
that
you
mean I'm not going to
didn't.
get,
Yeah, it's hard to know.
yeah.
Um, I think at that price point, you don't want to we're not doing any cold email campaigns because that's just too low of a price point. It's not worth the cost to set those up. But we could also do a targeted, I think we should see how the launch goes, right? Because you haven't launched yet. But I would definitely
Hmm.
start hard with the newsletters
Hmm.
and, the socials and see where you get. I think you're not quite big enough or charging enough for cold email. What was I going to say? Oh, and then dedicated. I'm on the fence for you about dedicated LinkedIn outreach or looking for specific signals. So I think maybe we could explore that once we're past the newsletter and we see what kind of initial traction you get.
Yeah. That sounds great. The, the wrinkle in that potentially is I have a enterprise level tier, but it's not enterprise. It's just more like I don't want to do anything. They hand off the whole. They just like are like, hey Joe, get us in the app store, and I do
Yeah,
everything for them, which is essentially my productized service.
right.
It's like what I do for. I'm still trying to figure out if that's like going to cannibalize my consulting business or if it actually will all just be lead gen for my consulting business. But this
Yeah.
is like one of those. It's only an annual fee. Like you can't do monthly for it, and
Yeah.
I handle everything. Like get your Rails app ready, get your, app store set up. It's essentially what I'm doing more for my consulting clients, but it's way more cookie cutter, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you have this, I will get you there types approach.
Yeah, this is such an interesting topic of conversation. Like, will this inexpensive product
Hmm.
eat into your consulting margins? And because I have another friend who's in a similar situation, he has a very successful consulting business. He recently launched a product. But if you don't adapt, you die. So
Yeah.
it might, right? Like I think it actually might eat into your consulting. I don't know. But
Hmm.
also like the world is moving quickly in this direction. So it's like adapt or die. So I think you are making the right choice.
Yeah. I think that my old consulting business, last year,
No,
where
last
I
year.
was
So long ago.
so pre AI,
Pre
um,
AI.
was all about delivering code. We've talked about this a lot.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that if I continued with that model, this new product, Ruby Native, would slowly eat all of that business.
Yeah.
But I think now with my shift more towards strategy and, retainer and maintenance and less about code generation, it is maybe eating into it, but like it's not eating into it as much as it would because what I am delivering is so different than like just the app.
Yes. Yes.
Like yesterday actually I signed a quarterly retainer with the company.
Excellent.
Yeah, which is super
Congratulations.
exciting. Thank you. And what I'm doing for them is full on advisory. Like
Okay.
I'm not responsible for writing any code. I'm only in there reviewing pull requests, pair programming calls, calling me when you run into an issue. How do I structure this? Those type of high level strategy advisory type questions and answers that you still can't get from an AI. You can only really get from a person who has launched 20, 30 apps and been doing it for 10 years.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that because in the long run, like I love those projects. I want to do more of those.
Yeah. That's amazing. Great work.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
How did that come out? Were they already in your pipeline?
How did it start? It was actually they were interested in my other product, Purchase Kit, which
Oh,
simplifies in-app purchases for Hotwire native
yes.
apps.
Yes.
And I had an onboarding call with them, and they were like, "Wow, this sounds like too complicated for us to do. Like, do you happen to do like stuff like this for people?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have this service." And within like 2 weeks, we signed a contract. So
Amazing. I love that.
uh,
I love
if
that.
Purchase Kit never does anything besides this one retainer, it like is worth its weight in gold already.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so tired but feeling good, which
okay.
is kind of par for the course these days. But
I know, right?
yeah. um yeah, so that's my week. Looking forward, I have some work to do to get this thing ready. I have a lot of folks who are want to give it a try, who need support. A lot of documentation to write, but all really exciting things and it's just so much more fun when you know that people are willing to pay for something. Like having that
Mhm.
first customer has been such a fire in a good way in getting like being motivated for this.
Yes.
So that's been awesome.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my week. Tell me, outside of having a hole in the floor as a bathroom, what are you up to? I've been seeing a lot of OpenClaw tweets and LinkedIn
Ooh.
posts from you. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit.
I have fallen down the rabbit hole and I love it here, Joe. I do. I love it. Like
Uh,
I'm completely on the OpenClaw bandwagon and I am low key obsessed with it. So,
nice.
I have been spending a lot of my time just messing around with it, seeing what's possible. I actually yesterday I kind of built a security hardened script to install it because now I'm installing it for other people who want to try it. So that's been great because I don't know. Have you set it up yet?
No, no, I
Okay,
haven't.
you don't need to. I just like I'm all in, right? Like and I have the
Hmm.
time. So I've just fell down the rabbit hole. So setting it up on Hetzner is actually kind of a pain.
Hmm.
And so there's been like a lot of little onesie, twosie, gotchas, a lot of things you have to do for security. And so yesterday I spent a good chunk of time, a couple hours, like getting a script to make it a lot easier. So like if I'm going to install it for someone, which I am going to do later this next week, they can go set up their Hetzner account and then I can just SSH into their box and run all the scripts and they can just communicate with it through Slack and they don't need to know about any of the internals. So,
Are you why are you not hosting it for them?
man, okay. So here's, I thought about that, but I feel like uh, everyone and their brother is doing hosted OpenClaw. Like I have
Mhm,
never seen so many people trying to
mhm.
sell hosted OpenClaw and the overhead um just doesn't seem worth it to me right now. And this is what I think is interesting too. Everyone is getting pitched subscriptions for OpenClaw, for agents. The number of pitches I get every day is exhausting. Like, I just don't want to buy any more stuff. And I think other people feel the same way. So when I'm like, I'm going to charge you this one-time fee, I'm going to set it up for you, then you own it. If you don't like it, you own it, right? Like you just kill your box. You
Yeah.
can email me if you don't know how to do that, but like it's interesting because they're paying the same amount of money kind of, or maybe even more
Right.
if they pay me a
Right.
setup fee. But there's this, it's like a mental shift. Like no one, I mean, I don't want to say like no one wants SaaS anymore. That's not true. But like for a lot of these like AI agent SaaS things, like I don't know, it's just there's fatigue. And
Mhm.
so the pitch of like you pay me once, you never pay me again and you own it. There's like a mental shift, even though they might actually be spending more that way. There's some kind of like mental shift with with the end user, I think, where they're like, "Oh, this is my thing, I own it."
So they're footing the bill for the Hetzner server,
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm having them set up Hetzner,
so it's under
instead
their
of because
account.
I was gonna set it up and just charge them, but I was like, "I don't even
Mhm.
wanna be in the loop." Like, this is not I don't want to do hosted OpenClaw as a business because I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna work, because literally everyone is doing it, people with way better distribution than I have.
Mhm.
So this, like, just set it up for you thing should be interesting. We'll see. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you don't have to worry about it post-engagement.
Me too. That's the thing. Once
That's
I'm done with
nice.
it, I'm done with it. Like, and it's on them to like kind of train it. Now, I do have a couple like that Google Search Console thing I did. Did I talk about that? I did a little bit. So I did include my custom scripts in the box, like as scripts on the Claw.
Yeah.
So they do have access out of the box. I'm going to set them up with the basic thing. Like, how do you see value from this thing immediately? You hook it up to your Google Search Console and you have it write content briefs for you and identify keyword opportunities. But um, that's it, like really. So I'm going to set them up with that
Yeah.
initial workflow and just like see what happens.
Right. And then you're there to augment it during the engagement and, like, add whatever you need and
Yeah,
and
and
build it up over time, and then you hand it off to them when it's, like, in a pristine state, and they just let it run.
yeah, and I have a lot of ideas here. For example, I'm working on these marketing automations, these content. Right now it's mostly content automations. And like I'm working on one for myself, and if it works out, since I have access to their box, I can just add the script to their box. Like I haven't figured the details of this out, but there's this world where as I continue to learn and improve, I can like just send them something, like
Mhm.
add it literally to their server and then be like, "Hey, I added this skill to your server." Like, I, and I think what is important to say here. So I posted on LinkedIn a short of me doing the Google Search Console thing, and I had a warm lead reach out and be like, "Hey, I need that." And I
Huh.
think what we as tech people don't realize is we're on the what do they call it? The edge of the spear, the tip of the spear, the bubble.
Bleeding edge?
There we go. I swear isn't there another one like tip of the spear,
Oh,
spears? Like I don't
um,
know.
no. Well,
No.
sure, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, fine.
It's not as bad as, spoons in a pot or
That was
whatever we had yesterday.
still I was listening to that last week and I literally laughed out loud when you said that. I was like, "What is
What am I talking about?
So this person
Mhm.
was like I mean, can I just tell you what their process was? So
Yeah,
this person is the head of
please.
marketing at a very small
Mhm.
company. They have an SEO person and they have a content writer and they contract out other content writers. So here in 2026, they were literally still contracting out a content writer. Then it would
Mhm.
go back to the SEO person, where the SEO person was analyzing it for keywords. Then it would go back to the content writer to have the
Yeah.
like my mind was blown when they told me this. I was like,
Right.
"You're doing what? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
What? And then they would put it in Claude, or they wouldn't even use Claude. They would put it in ChatGPT, which was the only AI they were using to
Mhm.
kind of like clean up the final draft they get from the content writer. But
Yeah.
like this process is insane to us, right? Like I was just like,
Yeah,
"Oh my
so where
gosh."
where would you where would you step in there with what you would offer them?
So I already did. So what I
How
did,
did you step in?
I already did. Here's what I did is I set them up their own, we don't call it OpenClaw because the normal people don't know what that means. Their own
Mhm.
AI agent that they can
Ooh,
talk
I like
to,
that.
so much better, right? They can talk to through Slack. The AI
Mhm.
agent hooks up to the Google Search Console. So every week it gets fresh Google Search Console data. It runs a keyword research with keywords everywhere. So they did have to get the keywords everywhere API key. And every week it gives them suggested content gaps based on those two pieces of information. And this particular company is not comfortable yet with AI generated content, which is fine. Um, and then it writes them a content brief based on the opportunities in the keywords. And then, so that's almost like it's, I mean, it's going to eliminate their SEO person. So I don't
Yeah.
know. So it's going to eliminate their SEO person, and they're one step away. I also showed them, I was like, they're on WordPress. I was like, it
Mhm.
can literally just write it for you and post it to WordPress. And they were like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what was cool about this is, to me, this seems so incredibly obvious. Like,
Mhm.
isn't everyone already doing this? Isn't this like dead? Like, because everyone's already done it? And everyone is not doing it, Joe. Just us weirdos in tech. Like,
Totally.
normal people are still doing things the normal way. They know they need to change, but they don't really know how.
Yeah.
Or, like I mean, how do you hook? This is really complicated if you're not technical, right? Like, and they
No,
don't want to,
totally.
and these services, they're not going to pay $100 a month for a service. So it's like,
Right.
at least not the companies I know. So, I don't know. It felt very like great. It felt great.
Yeah. To get a win, but also to I really love your approach of they have a problem that is, like, too slow, too expensive, too annoying, and
Uh-huh.
you've essentially come in and been like, "Cool. Here's a little, robot that does a part of it for you." And they're like, "Amazing. This is great." And you're like, "Oh, it could also do more of it for you."
Yeah.
And you're not upselling them on a subscription. You're just, like, telling it to do more, which is pretty cool, where
Yeah.
it kinda goes back to the original thing that you said of, like, "This isn't a subscription. I'm just setting you up a box, a
Yeah.
little AI agent, and you can tell it what you want it to do." I really like that. I really like that.
Yeah. I think, and I think there's like a lot of, but the most interesting thing, right? So I'm doing this
Mhm.
AI consulting stuff. It's mostly
Yeah.
marketing stuff so far. It's mostly like go to market automations.
Mhm.
None of us really know. Like, don't believe the hype boys on Twitter. None of us really know if it's making a huge difference or not.
Oh, sure.
Because like this company, the first thing they asked is, they're like, well, like, will it work? And I was like, well, you have to, just, it'll tell you every week. The cool thing is it tells you if it's working, because it'll show you
Exactly.
moving up in the rankings. Um, but like, I think the truth is, and I think anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you,
Mhm.
is we don't really know yet what's going to work. Like, you can build all of these go to market automations, you can do all this automated content generation, but only time will tell. Like, I have a couple systems I'm running for myself, I'm running for some other companies. Like, time will tell if this actually makes a measurable business impact.
Yeah. It's I mean, that's also true of content in general,
In general,
pre-AI.
yes.
Like, you could write 50 blog posts a month, and if nothing is resonating with people and people aren't reading it and it's not actually giving you top of funnel folks, then it doesn't matter how much you write or how good it is if it's not working. So I honestly don't see this as any different. Just the speed is much higher.
Well, and
I,
that's what
I
I was
think
talking I was talking to their marketing manager and I was looking at their existing content because, like I said, this
Mm-hmm.
company is not going to do AI generated content. They're only doing briefs. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this sounds terrible, but I was like, well, your existing content isn't that great, right? Like,
Mm,
so it's not
yeah.
like we're downgrading. It's not like they had really, really high quality developer content or something and they're downgrading to the
Generic
average
posts.
level,
Yeah.
like generic posts. I was like, So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Time will
Yeah,
tell.
that's interesting. I I still struggle with that a lot because I love to write,
I know.
and I write so little now
Yeah.
relative to what I used to. Like I used to just write like in my journal, in my notebook, in an open text editor and then just like throw it away because I just enjoyed the writing. And now I'm only writing prompts and when I need to write my weekly newsletter. And it's like AI has taken away so much of the joy of that because it's so easy to generate a lot of content in such little input. What has been so surprising to me about that is how little how much I've like felt for that and haven't felt for the writing of code.
Hmm. That is
I
interesting.
thought it I thought it would be the other way around. Like I don't
Yeah.
miss the physical typing of the code into the keyboard. I
Yeah.
really love the architecting and the design and the product and all that stuff. I miss actually writing. And
Hmm.
I don't know what that means, but it is the exact opposite of what I expected.
Yeah. But no one is stopping you from writing, Joe.
No, just myself and
Just
Claude.
yourself. Okay. And Claude.
I know. I have like 100 fancy pens and, lay flat notebooks. So no one's stopping me from using
No
them.
one's stopping you.
I just have to you do it. I just have to do it. Uh,
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
yeah, there's a little anecdote there.
Uh,
So it sounds like people are happy with what you are building for them, but you haven't actually shown ROI yet. Not because of the lack in process, but because it hasn't, you're not there. We haven't waited long enough for it to see if it works.
well, and I think too, and this is something I think is important as I think about how I want to structure this consultancy. I don't know that these are the right kind. Like
Hmm.
my end goal with this consultancy
Uh-huh.
would be to have like a productized consulting service, right? And these problems are almost not meaty enough. Like they're not big enough.
Mm,
And maybe they are, but like for example, like if you hire me to improve your content generation system, like there's 5 million SaaSes out there that are trying to do the same thing. So I almost want there's got to be something about what I do that is a little more
mm-hmm.
unique, maybe a little and
Right.
maybe that will be I'm hoping as we've talked about before, the work it will become clear. I'm doing the work right now. So hopefully something will become clear. But so
Totally.
far, mostly I've been doing marketing automations
Mm-hmm.
and the people I'm doing them for seem very, very happy about them. Um, but they don't feel like, you know how ambitious I am. They don't feel big enough, right? Like it doesn't feel like I can come in and charge 6 figures for a marketing automation. I
Right.
mean, maybe. And
Right.
so I kind of want to, I still am trying to figure out like what direction to expand
Uh-huh.
um, to see if I can find something that's like more, I don't know, more impactful.
Yeah. I think that like, I think a lot of things about this. One is you have no like white paper slash testimonial of you coming in,
Yes.
building someone an agent in 3 months, and then their metric X increasing by Y,
Correct. Not
right?
yet.
As soon as you have one, two, three of those,
Yeah.
tack a zero on your price. Like
Yeah.
all of a
Yeah.
sudden, it actually you can go up market with in terms of like the budget that these folks have. But I also think that what you're doing right now, this is kind of coming to me during this recording. What you're doing is a portion of your offering. And I think that we've circled around this a lot, like go to market, content strategy, what to write, what to build. But what you're really doing is working intensely with a client for a quarter or so and
Yeah.
automating as much and
That's
improving as
possible.
much of their marketing pipeline as you possibly can for them. That's fine-tuned and 100% to their needs.
Yes.
Nothing that you and I think that's why it's been so hard for you to define because nothing you do is cookie cutter. Everything is
Yeah. That's true.
specific to the client.
That's
And
true.
you setting up their own box that they manage, that they have their own skills running on, that like you then just give to them at the end of the engagement. I think is unique right now. As you said from the beginning, you're not offering a SaaS. You're
Yeah.
like bootstrapping their marketing automation, AI powered marketing automation, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And this tiny sliver of this doing Google Ads research and keyword optimization is like 5% of all the stuff you could be doing in this space.
Yeah. Okay. I like
Does
that.
that make sense? Right? Like, does
That
that
makes
sound right?
sense. That sounds right. I think it's just hard to like as everyone, right? When you try to build pipeline as a consultant,
Yeah.
there's always like the boom and bust cycle. So like literally everyone, it would be nice if I had something that felt more consistent, like
Mm-hmm.
Colleen does XYZ and XYZ. Like, for example, on my LinkedIn, it just says fractional head of AI. Because that's
Yeah.
literally what I'm doing is I'm coming into
Yeah.
companies and I'm like AIing their stuff. But it would be
Sure.
nice to be, and again, I think we'll just continue to revisit this as I do the work, right? As I do more and more work, more and more of what works and what people love is going to become obvious. But, I just kind of want to like, what does that mean? I still don't know what that means, right? Like I come in, I AI your stuff and you're happy?
Yeah.
Like, how do anyway, just something
I,
to
I
think
would
about.
love I would love for you to ask your 6-month client
Mhm.
after 3 months, in one sentence, describe what I'm doing for you.
That's a good idea.
And
Yeah.
just like see what they say. Like
Yeah.
no influence, no like I'm thinking about, just like see how they describe your services.
Yeah.
And it might be very obvious. Maybe it is nebulous to them and that's not a good sign. Or maybe they're just like, "Oh yeah, you do X, Y, and Z and it's perfect for us." And you're like, "Oh, duh."
Yeah.
And now that you have another client or that warm lead, like seeing you would what they would describe you as, it's almost like you're doing positioning research.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. Okay. Speaking of that, we need to name this consultancy because
Mhm.
I'm doing a webinar next week and I have nowhere to point them to. Like, I'm like,
Oh my
this is
god.
terrible. I literally don't even know where to point these people to because I don't have a website.
So you have domains.
I
Um,
have a whole bunch of domains.
yeah, nice. Okay, so do you want to talk through which domain to use, a new one to pick, just the name of what is on your
I mean, if we could
homepage?
just
Like,
spend 5 minutes on this would be great.
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I've got Bitmap Designs, the
Hmm.
worst. No one can
Pass.
spell it. I hate it.
Yeah,
Pass. Colleen Schnettler, also the worst because no one can spell my
tough.
name. And I don't want it to be just me. Like it's just me
Yeah.
right now, but like this is a business I want to grow.
Mm.
Um, I own marketing for coders, but it sounds like a community to me. That doesn't sound like a consultancy. Like to me, that sounds like, oh, I'm going to join this community.
I also don't like it because it's so close to marketing for developers, which
What's
is Justin Jackson's thing that he's reviving and
Oh, I
has a
didn't know
pretty good
that.
audience. Yeah, which
Okay.
is a community for
Which is a
developers.
community, which makes total sense.
um, I'd pass on that one too. Even it's also
It's a
just like super long.
I have SaaSmarketingadvisor.com.
Hmm.
Tarot. I just don't like any of these,
Mm,
right? Like here's what I found on the internet when I was looking last night.
yeah.
Daybreaklabs.ai is available.
Ooh.
Clever Growth. Hold on, I got to bring up my list. .ai I think is available.
Mm-hmm.
Winning Workflows is available. Um
Pass.
Pass. Right? Okay, that's such a pass. Okay. At first I was like really excited, then I was like this is such a pass. You know what I realized, Joe?
Yeah.
Every single thing I have ever done with a partner,
Mm-hmm.
which is now
Mm-hmm.
2 podcasts and 2 businesses, the partner has named the thing every time. I'm like, oh no, I'm totally scred.
Oh man. So I have a
So
lot of pressure right now. Is what you're
you have a
talking
lot of
about.
pressure, Joe.
A
You
lot of
named the
pressure here.
podcast. You need to name my
Oh god.
business. Wait, let me show you the rest. Let me tell you the rest. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so growthnerds.ai,
Mm-hmm.
clevergrowth.ai, daybreaklabs.ai, wildpath.ai. Those are
Mm-hmm.
all available.
I I want to push back on why it can't just be you right now. Like,
ColleenSchnettler.com.
I don't like calling Schnettler.com. I think that I still have a hard time spelling Schnettler, and I've
You
been
and
typing
everyone
it for
else. For
years.
years.
Like literally.
I
Didn't you
I
have
still
like?
have I've Code with Colleen. And then I also bought Colleen is because I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do Colleen is /consulting. Colleen is /podcasting. Colleen is / whatever else I do, speaking. So I thought that was clever. Someone
Yeah,
else came up with that, by the way. I didn't come up with
of
that.
course.
One of my previous business partners texted me that, and I was like, "Great idea, man! Let's do it."
And you own Colleen is.
Yeah, I bought it. Yeah, because I
That's
thought it
my
was clever.
favorite out of all of them because it is generic enough that like you don't need to lock yourself into something. Even code with Colleen doesn't already is kind of missing the mark,
I know, I know.
which sinks because that's my favorite
It's such a
domain.
good domain,
Yeah.
but it's not
Um,
right.
is Colleen.ai available?
No, I already checked.
Yeah. How much does that one cost?
I don't know. More
Um,
than I have.
I think that for domain, like Colleen.is your best because it is the most generic. It focuses on you, which I think personally, in my opinion, I should say, is still important. Like the
Okay.
human
At this point in
connection
the process, yeah. Okay.
at this point in the process, and just like in this point in AI, it's like you still want a human to be directing and talking, like someone to talk to. And let's be real, if you hire, you're probably going to hire a subcontractor
Yeah, you would
or a
still be dealing with
consultant.
me most of the time. Like, I'm
If
not gonna
you
have
look,
yeah.
yeah, if you hire someone full time, great. Let's find a new domain for you.
Okay. That's in
You
the future,
know,
obviously.
I
Yeah.
I I don't think that that is something that you need to worry about right now. Also, like if you name your company or like get a DBA, you can still have Colleen.is either redirect to it or point to it, or that's what like just have the new domain. But I think like for now, your business is Colleen Schneller. It's like
Yeah.
it's you.
So, you think the primary domain should be Colleen is, and then for the webinar, like in all this AI marketing automation, should it be Colleen is consulting and just have a page on Colleen is consulting about like these marketing automations, like consulting in the AI space?
Um, I mean, why is that not just your homepage?
That should just be my homepage, yeah.
Yeah, like if that's the
Okay.
point of your website, just like
That's the point.
have
And
that
then
be
I
your
can just have
homepage.
speaking and podcasting and all that. Because the speaking is good because I think it gives me credibility. When you
Credibility.
see, I've
Yeah.
done so many conference talks. I feel like being like, oh, look, she spoke at all these conferences. It's like a good thing.
Definitely want a speaking page.
Okay.
I'd even push back. This could be a one pager, and have speaking at
Oh,
the
look
bottom.
at you.
You know, just
Okay. Yeah.
like if you're
Yeah.
building a website to direct people to and to use for your webinar,
Yeah. That's what I need right now.
simple is better. How can you
Okay.
describe to them who you are, what you do, and why you're good at it in like three folds? You know,
Okay. Okay. I'll think about that.
that's my take on
Because
it.
I really want people to hire me for AI consulting. That's what I want them to hire me for. So I want to have the
Mhm,
main page being like,
mhm,
focused on like I build marketing automations. We'll just lean into marketing automations right now for AI business or for businesses.
mhm,
And then I can
mhm.
have some of the examples that I've shared with you. Okay, yeah, and it can just be a one pager. You're right. There's no need to make it a whole thing.
Yeah, and I think that that's a great start. We can name the consulting business if you actually need a name in the future.
I
I
don't
don't
need
know.
a name. I just literally need somewhere to point people. Like next week
Colleen is.
when I do the webinar. So
Colleen.is/webinaring.
yeah, Colleen is yeah, and I can just have everyone
No, just
redirect.
like a one pager is great. I think that that's a great start, and then you could link to projects if you need it. But overthinking it is my gut.
I know. I know. I have like 5 websites now, so I need to
I'm sure.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, great. So we're going with that. We're not gonna think about it anymore. We're moving on.
there you go.
Excellent. Excellent.
Let's hear from the listeners. If you have any other ideas for Colleen to spin up more websites or
You should
domains that you want to donate to her.
I know, right? Just my like so many random domains. It's so funny because I was doing my taxes. Ugh, and
Mm,
so I was having Claude do kind of analysis of my spending because I'm
mm,
always interested like how did I spend so much money?
yeah.
And the biggest thing it pulled out is it was like you spent $600 on Namecheap. Like it was
Like
like
in 25.
chastising me. Yeah, in
Oh my god,
2025 I spent $600 on Namecheap. It's like chastising me for like this is your biggest expense that doesn't seem to have ROI.
that's really funny.
I
Is
know.
that all new domains or is that any purchases like premium?
I don't know. As soon as I get excited about a domain, I just buy it.
I think
Like
that,
that's just what I do. So I think it's a mix to be fair, but I thought
yeah.
that was pretty funny. I was like
Okay.
$600, darn.
Potentially controversial opinion.
Yeah.
I agree in buying domains before you start a project. If you
Okay.
have
I
a
do too.
name and the domain is available, do not see anything wrong with buying that domain if it is like under $100.
I totally agree.
And I know that people are like, oh, I have this like collection of domains. I don't know if it, like, you just buy it. And the amount of effort that I've gone through for a domain that I could have bought and didn't, and then had to
And didn't.
rebuy later, I didn't do it. It wasn't worth it. Like,
Yeah.
and if I had just bought that domain to begin with, it would have been so much easier. So I don't know. I'm probably preaching to the wrong crowd with like the developers and stuff who just like have a million domains, but I am totally on board with if you think of anything at all and there's a domain available, just snag it.
I know. I'm the
And
same.
just let
I
it
think,
expire. Just let it expire.
and then who
It's
cares, right?
fine.
You're out like $80. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? Yeah, I'm the same. Okay, great. So we're just gonna do that. So this is not a thing, and then I can just focus on the actual work instead of the domain.
That sounds right. I think.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, that wraps us up for today. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you want to check out Ruby Native, head to rubynative.com and shoot me an email on there to get you started. If you want to see what Colleen is up to, check out colleen.is.
Yes, I love that.
And all show notes and everything are at nopermission.fm. Catch y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.